What's up YouTube, Dreamkiller coming at you with another video, and first off, I want to apologize because the last couple of days I've been kind of absent with my video making. I have been sick since Sunday. It's only now that I have recovered. I'm still a little bit coughy and hacky, so I got a cough drop in my mouth just to make sure that I can suppress the coughing while I'm talking, and there may become time where I had to edit out or do transitions because I might cough or sneeze every so often, but you know, that aside, a while back I posted a video giving my first impression of the latest Resident Evil game that came out, Resident Evil 7. And I didn't have that much to say because I was just getting into the game. But overall, I found that the game was very great. It was a true-to-form return of survival horror that Resident Evil has been known for, and I praised Capcom for finally getting their heads out of their asses and actually listening to what the fans want. But a couple of days ago, I finished the game, and so I'm going to give off my final impressions of the game. And that being said, spoiler warning, if you have not purchased the game or have not finished the game, first of all, I want to say if you have not purchased the game, I highly recommend you do, because for those of you who are new to this series, this is actually a good way to actually start the series and then go backwards and play the other games. For those of you who are diehard Resident Evil fans and are kind of, hesitant to pick this up because of past failures with past games, I will tell you right here, right now, that this game is worth purchasing because it is a true reform of what Resident Evil was and is just overall great. That being said, spoiler warnings if you have not finished the game or purchased the game. So let's start off with the fact that you start off as the character Ethan Winters, who is pretty much a new guy to the series. He's a everyman. You don't know much about his backstory, and the game doesn't do much to give you much information about him. And pretty much your goal is to find your missing wife, Mia, who has been missing for 3 years, who suddenly sends you a message saying where she is, which is in a abandoned part of Louisiana that Ethan goes to. He runs into an abandoned mansion / house and whatever, but turns out it's not abandoned. It is inhabited by the Baker family, who will be your antagonists for this entire game. The Baker family, by the looks of it, have been infected by something that has given them supernatural amounts of strength and regenerative properties and makes them monstrous, turns them into monsters, and it's your goal throughout the game to try to find a way to beat them and move on as you continue your search for Mia. And overall, by the end of it, you do rescue it and life goes on. But let's get to the ending of the game. And what I felt confused me and left me with more questions that I felt were answers, and what ties the game together to the other games in the series. So, at the end of the game, the main antagonist is a little girl who infects the Baker family by the name of Evelyn. And you defeat her, and you find out through all these documents you pick up throughout the game that, that there's this corporation that had been experimenting to make this girl to create a new type of bioweapon, and you find out that this company is a subsidiary of Umbrella. Yes, Umbrella is back at the forefront of the series, and honest to God, it was a shock to find out that they're making a return, because the past games they were clearly dead or dying, and they were trying to resurface, but failed attempts had been made. But finally, they are back. But what's shocking the most is when you get to the game, there is a helicopter that picks you up, that rescues you, and it's an Umbrella chopper, cleaning up the mess of what they had created. But that's not the shocking part. A soldier comes down to rescue you, and you find out that he goes by the name Redfield, and it turns out it is Chris Redfield. and this leads to a lot of speculation of what the hell is this really Chris Redfield, because he sounds different. It's not Roger Craig Smith doing the voice. It's a different guy, which kind of disappointed me because I always thought, you know, Roger Craig Smith was the voice of Chris Redfield. So seeing this new guy do this voice, even though it's only, you know, a little bit of dialogue you hear through him, you know, he sounds different. He looks different. It's not the roided up Chris Redfield that we're used to seeing. But it's different, and it makes you speculate, is this really Chris Redfield? And if it is, why the hell is he working for Umbrella? And Umbrella themselves, are they a reformed Umbrella? Are they good now? Are they still evil? Clearly they're still evil if they're still conducting experiments on bioweapons and stuff, and they're cleaning up their mess. But if that's the case, why is Chris Redfield working for them, and why is he not working for the anti-terrorist group that he was working for in previous Resident Evil games? That leaves a lot of speculation and mystery that is not answered by the end of the game, but hopefully by DLC that is coming in spring we shall probably get more answers, but it's very confusing, it's very speculating at this point. And also, you go through the entire game picking out the Baker family one by one, but one Baker family member in particular, Lucas, who is by far the interesting one of the bunch, because his segment of the game, though you don't fight him in his monster form, he doesn't have a monster form whatsoever. You basically settle with a bunch of puzzles he sets up throughout this one section that he's in, and then once you solve those puzzles, you play his game and beat his game. He pretty much runs off, and you don't hear from him from the rest of the game, and he's even missing from the ending. No one knows what the fuck happened to him, and the game doesn't explain what happened to him. It's almost like he either got left off, or Capcom forgot what to do with him. I don't know, maybe we're gonna see him in future DLC or future something, I don't know. And of course, the last question that doesn't quite give me an answer is what the future holds for Resident Evil. We pretty much established that this is what Capcom wants to do with the series. Go from this first person perspective, go back to the way things were, you know, tight corners, survive, you know, item management, all this stuff that Resident Evil has been known for since the beginning, but shifted since Resident Evil 4. That being said, they've established what they want to do with this. They got a new graphics engine, so the future seems bright in my opinion, but, you know, I don't know what they're going to do from here out. Obviously, there's going to be DLC that continues this story within Resident Evil 7, but then, what does the future look for future games like Resident Evil 8? If Capcom wants to do a Resident Evil 8. Hopefully, maybe we will see more familiar characters, like, you know, maybe more of Chris, obviously. Maybe we'll see Jill, Leon, some familiar characters that we're all used to seeing, because that was mainly the complaint from many people who play this game. You know, there's nothing familiar apart from what you see at the end of the game. But, you know, that's not a bad thing, because obviously Capcom wanted to start fresh for this game, and it worked for them. So now that they established freshness within this game, they can establish more things that people are familiar with, like familiar characters and familiar stuff that people will know and love. And maybe we will hopefully see more of Ethan, because like I said, there was not that much character development for Ethan, and, you know, I would like to see more. See him interact with the rest of the characters within the Resident Evil series, because, you know, Ethan, as of this point, is a member of the Resident Evil family, whether people like it or not. And so, yeah, you know, it's up in the wind what the hell is going to happen with the future of the Resident Evil franchise. I mean, we're celebrating 20 years of Resident Evil, and God, I feel old for saying that, because I'm 5 years older than this entire franchise, and so, I don't know, it's up to the wind at this point. But overall, at the end of the day, like I said, this is a really great game. It is worth your purchase, it's worth finishing, it's worth everything. Capcom finally got their heads out of their asses and gave us a Resident Evil game we've been wanting for a very long time. And this is coming for a person that had very meh expectations when Resident Evil 7 was announced. Don't get me wrong, when I first heard that Resident Evil 7 was getting announced during that E3 trailer, I jumped for joy because I was not expecting it. But you know, at the same time, I didn't know what to expect because everything they were trying to do with this game was so weird and so not Resident Evil that it made me concerned. But overall, my concerns were addressed. Everything turned out alright in the end, and this turned out to be a very great Resident Evil game in a very long time. So that being said, that's my final impression of the game. My opinion stands. It's a great game. Purchase it if you are still hesitant about buying it. That's it. That's all I got to say. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button because my channel grows because of it, and subscribe because, as always, I have many more videos to come like this. Comments down below. What do you think of the game? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you not care? I look forward to your comments as always. So, I'm Dreamkiller, gamers keep on gaming, and Resident Evil fans keep on rocking.